Today I'll be making a sponge cake from this particular cookbook right here. It is absolutely one of my favorite cookbooks to use. Oh. Yep, there's the sponge cake. And there will be the recipe. I will also be converting this into a gluten-free cake. So, with that being said, there is some early prep work you do need to do before you start your actual cake. One of those is you need to boil some water and go ahead and preheat your oven to 350. With that being said, let's go ahead and start. Let's begin by combining 1.5 cups of all-purpose gluten-free flour into a separate bowl. Along with that, you want to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now it asks you to put 1/2 teaspoon of salt within it. I don't like adding salt to a lot of this stuff because I want sweet. I don't want to taste any salt, but some people does like adding salt within their recipes. Now at this time you would go ahead and combine everything all together really well. Okay, now you'll take 6 eggs and separate the yolk from the whites. What you'll need is 6 yolks, but reserve 3 of your egg whites. That will be going into your icing. That will be a separate recipe from this. So, yes, my eggs are all different kinds, different shapes. They look all different because they are actual farm eggs. I have my own chickens that produce these eggs for me. They're called my working girls. I'm going to separate the yolk and place it into my stand-up mixer. You could just do it in like a regular bowl. That would be perfectly fine too with a power mixer. Or you can use your hands. There's nothing saying that you have to use a mixer. Hold on 1 second. That's wonderful, dear. Go. So go ahead and continue to separate your eggs from your whites and reserve 3 of your egg whites. Inside your bowl with your egg yolks, go ahead and add a cup of sugar and allow them to mix together really, really well. After your eggs are creamed together with your sugar, you want to add a 1/2 cup of boiling hot water. Ooh. Yeah, you might want to turn it down. Do a little better than I did. Add a 1/2 cup of boiling hot water. Allow it to mix together. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring or vanilla extract, depending on what you have on hand. And then 1/2 teaspoon of lemon extract. Allow that to mix well. Once it's mixed together well, turn your speed down and then add in your flour mixture slowly to allow it to get incorporated. Turn it up a tad bit and let it beat well, it says. Once it is mixed well, go ahead and turn off your mixer. Clean up your beater and be ready to transfer it over into a greased 9 by 13 pan. Once you have it in your 9x13 pan, it says to bake at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. My oven runs really hot, so I'm going to start at 20 minutes and checking on it from after that. And if it's already done at 20 minutes, then I'll remove it. But you have to do as what your oven does. If I leave it in for 30 minutes, it will burn it. So I will start checking on it from 20 minutes up to 30 minutes to see when my actual cake is finished. From the same recipe book, I'll be making the boiled frosting. First, you'll combine 1.5 cups of sugar and 1/2 cup of water. Bring this to a boil, and then first cover it with a lid and bring it to a boil. Stir slightly to help dissolve the sugar. Then cover and wait for it to come to a boil. Once you've already brought it to a boil, remove the lid. With a digital thermometer, I've been keeping an eye on the temperature starting now. You want to bring it to a soft ball stage, which is 234 to 240 degrees. Right now it's at a 220 degrees. Put your egg whites in your mixer and kind of mix them up. Get some air incorporated into them while you're waiting for your sugar to warm up. Okay, so my eggs are fluffy and my syrup has reached temperature. You want to turn it on low because you're going to pour the hot syrup into the eggs, and you do not want that to back up on you and get onto your skin. It will burn. So, a little faster there. Start pouring your syrup in and letting it cook the eggs. Warm it up, speed up just a little bit there. Get all of the syrup in it. Let it get good and incorporated with your eggs. Real good and incorporate with your eggs. You want to add 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. The recipe says a dash, but I don't know how much a dash is. I mean, it could be anything. So I usually put 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. You want to add 1 whole teaspoon of vanilla or vanilla extract, whichever one you have. I have flavoring, so I'm just going to use flavoring. Now, once it's mixing together real good, go ahead and turn it up on high and lower. Turn it up and let it beat really well. You want the eggs and the sugar and all that to mix together and thicken up really well. After about 5 minutes, it'll start to form really soft peaks like this and be nice and thick. And it's the same consistency of marshmallow cream. It's really, really good on top of the cake. And at the moment, I checked on the cake at 20 minutes and I'm putting it on for another 10. It looks like today my oven is going to cooperate and not run as hot as it usually does. So it finished 5 minutes earlier than the temperature. So mine cooked for 25 minutes and the toothpick came out clean. I'm going to allow this to cool, and after it cools down, I will put the marshmallow icing on top of it. It has cooled and it's completely iced. I'm going to go ahead and plate up a slice of it. There is the finished product. Probably could have done a prettier slice, but I don't try to be perfect at it. Nice and spongy and golden and sweet, and best of all, it is gluten-free. Thank you for watching.